Hello and welcome back to the Doctor's Garage here on YouTube. So in this video today, I'm going to be talking about my 5 top modifications I've done in the last year to my Land Rover Defender. Things that I think are really worth doing. If you've got a Defender, some of the things I've found the most value in, something that I think if I was to do this again, I would definitely not miss. So one of the first things that I fitted to my Defender and something I would not hesitate to do again was the LED lights. I'm talking about the indicators, the side lights, the reverse light and the fog light. I replaced all of those as soon as I got the car pretty much. Originally they were the red coloured lights, the orange lights, and I replaced them with smoked LEDs. That's what I've got on my Defender at the moment. The link below of which ones I've got are available if you wanted to buy them yourself. But I'm really pleased with how that changed the look of the Defender, brought it back to life a little bit. It's not a traditionalist look. I know a lot of people that have Defenders want to keep them very original. Certainly not an original look, but for me and the kind of style I wanted for my Defender, they fitted perfectly. So changing the LED lights made a huge difference. When they're on, when you see them just ticking over, they look so good. Just really refreshes the whole Defender and brings it to life a little bit more. And I really like that they're all clear coloured, all smoked coloured, and then kind of come to life when the lights come on themselves. My second would be to spray my body arches gloss black. And this was a decision that I took because I sprayed my roof black at the time and I wanted the arches to match. And I wasn't really sure how that was going to look, but I was so pleased with how it turned out. I think it makes a huge difference to Defenders when they've got gloss black arches. It's a very cheap and simple job to do. You can do it yourself. I didn't. I got a body shop to spray it because I'm not that good at getting that glossy finish. But that would be my next thing actually, would be making the body arches gloss. And particularly if you've got a gloss roof, it works really well. And it helps tie in a lot of the other black accents that I've got around my Defender. So that is number 2. That's what I would go for if I was to do it again. I wouldn't be so afraid of kind of jumping in and doing a bit of a respray work on some of the parts of the car. A more recent upgrade has been my lighting, and the lighting side of things. At the start, I always wanted a bumper with lights in, but I wasn't that bothered. And the more I saw Defenders online, the more I wanted a daytime running light bumper and a headlight upgrade too. So I was running Halo LEDs before, for those that follow the channel for a while will remember, and I got some parts off ORE before, like the steering guard, and ORE, Oak Ridge Engineering in the UK, are a brilliant British manufacturer of steel, but also this powder coating that literally doesn't come off. And it was because I had my steering guard on the Defender for about a year and a half, and it pretty much looked like brand new compared to some of the other cheaper parts I've fitted that are just flaked and peeled. I was really confident to say, right, time to get involved in the DRL bumper. And I got the one from ORE, I got the straight one, and I absolutely love that look that it gives to the Defender. That has been probably one of the biggest exterior enhancements I've done to my Defender, because it looks really cool when the lights are on, and that's just in daytime running mode when you're driving around. I've now also got the headlights from Light Parts that ORE distribute here in the UK, and they have the little horseshoe DRL, and so together I just think there's not a better combination really. It really brings the whole Defender up to date, but also in not a tacky way. It's very easy, I think, in the Defender world to do modifications to your Defender that can look a little bit chavvy, a little bit too far gone, and I was quite keen to do something that still looked relatively sophisticated, and I think with the ORE gear that has worked very well on the front of my Defender. So that would be my second upgrade, would be the lighting solution in regards to like headlights and DRLs. Made a huge difference. And of course upgrading the bumper itself, because my bumper inside was flaking, it was delaminating, and I'm really confident that's not going to happen with the ORE product. So that is something that I'd say would be my number 3 modification that I've done in the past year that I would do again in an instant if I bought another Defender. Number 4 would be replacing my hinges, and this is an expensive upgrade to do. I realize that, and it doesn't sound much when you just say it's hinges, but around me here in the Midlands in the UK, there's been so many people that have had Defenders stripped, so the doors taken off them and then consequently the seats and everything else taken out of them, that I wanted to put something on my Defender that made me feel more secure when I was parking it in public. And so the hinges was something I was looking for. And Optimil are a British company again. They produce billet aluminium gear, and it is phenomenal. It's like precision machine engineered. It feels so good and looks so good. Although it's just a hinge, you'll know what I mean if you're actually holding the Optimil gear. That has made a huge difference to how I feel about driving my Defender and leaving it around in public, but also how it looks as well. It's the black anodized parts I went for, which I think suit the rest of my Defender. Gloss black roof, gloss black arches, black anodized gear all round. I think it works really, really well and just ties in the whole car, but also makes it much safer to drive around. So really like the look of those hinges from my car. And I think when it comes to quality and the parts, you can't go far wrong when it comes to optimal for aluminium, billet aluminium gear. I realize we're on point number 5 already. I'm going to add a 6th one as well because I have 2 more I'd like to do. So the next one's going to actually be a bit of a different one. It's going to be my door cards, which have been fitted really recently and doesn't seem like a necessary upgrade probably for some people, but for me these have really improved the inside of my Defender no end. They've made a massive difference to how the Defender drives, because I've got an armrest now so I can sit this arm on here, and also just the look and some of the aesthetics I've got in the door card now, which are much cooler, including you can also have a speaker, a little tweeter put into the door card, which I'll be upgrading the sound system in this at some point. So it's got that function, and also now just with the exposed Allen key bolt heads, all kind of ties in really, really nicely, and I've been really pleased with how they look. And I've not really seen that modification being done. It was someone on Instagram that said, why don't you look into these, because I was going to wrap my door cards and trying to trim them, and I was looking at so expensive anyway just to trim my door cards. I thought, you know what, why don't I get some new door cards that are a lot fresher, which I did, and I'm so pleased with how they turned out. So that has been a big upgrade for me, just because of the functionality of actually using the Defender, but also how they look too, and just kind of uplift the inside of the Defender, which is the project I'm working on at the moment, the whole interior kind of modification and getting things sorted. So that'd be point number 5. And the bonus one, number 6, has got to be something I forget about all the time, but I couldn't live without, which is the remap on my Defender. So I had my Defender Stage 2 remapped over at a live tuning, which is some of the early content I did here on YouTube with my Defender. Go check out the videos if you haven't already of the full thing being done, and got my Defender up to about 192, I think it was, brake horsepower. And that has just, I think that's where the journey all started for me, because it made me love this car so much more and be able to drive it so much more, made it so much more livable. I could drive it to work, around the weekends, whatever. It didn't feel slow and sluggish. So for me, that was a huge upgrade that really I forget about day to day, but it kind of started my whole journey into the world of Defender ownership and modification. Was the remap originally. Can't recommend the guys over at Alive Tuning enough. They've also done a few other bits on my car. Didn't mention the shocks, the springs. There's so much other stuff I've done to this truck, but for me they would be my top 6 overall things that if I was to buy a Defender tomorrow, which I don't plan on doing, they are the things that I would do immediately, because I think doing all that would suddenly bring it up to speed, bring it to life, and I would feel like you've basically got a new car. So for me, that's what I would do. Really interested to know your thoughts. If you've got a Defender, what do you think your top modifications are that you've done to your Defender? I'm sure I've forgotten some that I probably should have added to this list, but let me know in the comments below. And got a lot of exciting stuff coming up on the channel very soon. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen I've ordered some really exciting new parts. I cannot wait to get fitted to the Defender. The biggest upgrade financially, but also size wise probably, to my Defender that I can't wait to share with you here on the channel. So stay tuned to the channel, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.